click that, and it's on. It's live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, but am I live? Give me a second. Video game. Yes. Okay, now it's being controlled. Streamlabs disconnected from the, how do you say, controller and video feed. So now we're good, and the video game can be played. How is everyone doing tonight? I am doing fine. Thank you for asking. I know you just did. I know you just asked. Actually, let's go get some arrows. Probably need to go get some arrows. The Arrows tour. Yes. Meow, meow. That was my phone telling me that I'm live. They're letting me know that I am currently online. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know, but now I do. Now I do. And that's all good. That's all good to know, because if I didn't know... Sorry your head hurts. Yeah, I'm a little sorry too, but thanks for acknowledging it. You read the title? How are you and Thafin? What are you up to? Just sitting? I saw that By the Rook was streaming earlier today, and I do know that you got to sit in and watch a little bit of it. How was that? What did they make? Were they still working on the spider? I'm farming for Aya. That sounds fun.
Hold on.
Hello, Nikki. How are you? It's been a few days. What have you been up to? Anything good? We went and got the rogue set last. Now, Spider Big and Scary? Spider Big and Scary? What do you mean, Spider Big and Scary? Hi, Aki. How are you? Don't shoot me. Oh. How did he miss? I was standing so still. Okay, where's our burden? Oh, we're at max item burden because arrows. Because arrows, guys. We're at max item burden. Oh, that's what Rook was working on. Sleeping mostly. Are you like on a break, or do you have days off of work, or what's up with that? What's up with that? I am jealous, jealous of my mother, because she works at a real job that respects her time and her autonomy, and she has from now until after New Year's no work, no more work. From now until New Year's, no more work. Doesn't have to go. That's crazy to me. I have another. What day was today? I have another 6 days at work until Christmas, and then I get Christmas off, and then I have another 5 days on. So I'm so excited. Get Magic Sword Makoto out of here. It's huge. Magic Sword Makoto is huge. Hey, Inthafin, why is the Meat Cleaver 10 weight units? 10 weight units? Why did you give me such a ding-dang heavy thing? Hello, Ocean Forest. It's been a while. How are you? Uh-oh, there's a lot of you tonight. That's not good. No, just sleeping at normal hours since I go to work at 8 a.m. God bless. That sucks balls. It's made out of pure meat. Is meat a lot of Miyazaki's? Let me put all my arrows away, because I only use arrows. I don't use arrows. Insomnia. If you say so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone who has insomnia. Did that cure it? Did that cure your insomnia? Yeah, I understand the insomnia struggle, though. I totally understand the insomnia struggle. I have not been going to sleep at good and normal times. Oh, interesting. We got both the Ring of Magical Sharpness and the Ring of Magical Dullness. And we got the Clever Rat's Ring and the Dull Rat's Ring. My sleep schedule is just non-existent. Do any of y'all sleep? Actually, do any of y'all sleep? Obviously not. You're all here. You're all here at what? What time is it? Like 12:30 in the morning. Of course none of y'all sleep. What am I talking about? Well, welcome to the stream. I hope this is... Normally I get 6 hours of sleep. Oh. Is that... Is that good? Can you operate on that? Are you healthy? Are you well? I'm a little bit worried about that. That's usually what I operate around too, is 6-ish hours of sleep. I had a really bad migraine last night when I got off of work. And I went to bed and I slept for maybe like 2 hours, and then I could not go back to sleep. I stayed up probably until around 10 in the morning and then slept again. I sleep a bit, wake up and do something, sleep a bit more since I have to go to bed late, but I have to wake up early. Yeah. Yeah. I do like the phrase, I have to. I never hit REM, so I don't sleep. Little just weird dreams of kickboxing and whatever sleep I get. None of y'all sleep normal. Some of y'all should invest in melatonin. At least we kill these guys instantly. What's he doing up there? Can I hit him? I can, but like, I live on massive amounts of caffeine and I take that at staggered intervals to avoid heart attacks. I mean, I feel like that is prudent and not so at the same time. I understand staggering it so that you don't get heart attacks. That's smart. I understand that. But at the same time, why so much caffeine? Is it like a, I think we've discussed this before, but I don't remember if it was like for a health thing or if it was just caffeine addiction. Because I understand caffeine addiction. Yeah. I didn't read what that item was. Whoops. Whoops. I hope it wasn't important. Pardon me. Red Phantoms. Let's try to aggro one of them. This is the guy who becomes the penetrator. Is his name like Metis or something like that? Bonk. My husband had a heart attack before 20 because of energy drinks during a long video game binge. Is this the same guy who likes the HEMA stuff? Why is he a Kyle? Lovingly. Lovingly. Does that put him at risk of anything else? Oh, this is good. This is good tactic, guys. Oh, no. No, it's bad tactic. Monster is his favorite? Yep. What flavor? What flavor of Monster? What flavor of Monster? Is it a Monster Ultra? I want your sword. Okay, one down. We're so good at the video game. No, he just has to not do that again. The OG green. Ew. The Xbox era. The classic Xbox era monster. The extra dry. Is that what they call it? We got the penetrating sword, guys! Who should we penetrate first? What is it? What is this? Is this sword good? It's huge. Both. I once took the caffeine all at once and felt like I was going at super speed while experiencing an out-of-body experience like the squirrel from Over the Hedge. Right? Like the squirrel from Over the Hedge. Because that's something... Oh, hey, here's the dead fat fish. I didn't know he was gonna ragdoll. I thought he was a fixture. Wait, they just have a ragdoll of a fat official you can play with for free over here? They give you this little toy of a man? I don't need caffeine. My heart rate sits 120 BPM while sitting. So I'm on it. You have POTS? POTS? What does that stand for? What is POTS? You are all... Guys, like, what the heck is going on with your health? My heart rate is 105 at rest. I don't know what mine is at rest. I have arrhythmia. So it doesn't beat right. I know that it doesn't beat right, but I don't think it beats too fast. I just have to make sure that it doesn't like do something lame. Speaking of lame, I didn't want to get all of them. Are they gonna follow me into the fog room? I don't want them to follow me. I don't want them to follow me. Are you gonna keep coming? Yeah, you're gonna keep coming. I mean, the Archstone is right behind us, so if we get into a lot of trouble, we can just use that. No hurting me. I am nice person. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. You found a new game? What new game? What new game? What new game did you find? Is it fun? Is it fun? Does it have good moments? Does it have good moments? I'm excited to hear what new... Okay, so... This sword is huge, brother, but it's not very good for us right now. I'm wondering... Surf punk. Is that a type of punk like Daft Punk and Cyberpunk? Did it? Yeah, grass. Do I have other grasses? Does not look like it. Hades, but with pirates. Okay, people are big into pirates right now. People are really big into pirates right now. Hades, but with pirates. So it's like a roguelike. What's the art style? Does it have a similar art style to... And it's co-op. A co-op roguelike. You know, I used to play a co-op roguelike with my sister. I think it was called Anvil Vault Breakers. Rip Anvil, by the by. But I've never been, like, roguelikes were never my... What do they call it? They didn't have that certain je ne sais quoi. They didn't have the sauce. I can make it to 155, but just standing up it. Well, don't. Don't do that. You still haven't explained what it is, but you don't have to make your heart rate go to 155. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to prove it. I'd rather not one of my viewers get a heart attack while watching my stream. That would be Hello, by the Rook. It's lovely to have you. Mwah, 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 mwah. I was talking about your stream. I was talking about your stream. Tell everybody about your stream. Okay, I'm 100%. What a roguelike at this point, I'm a little scared to ask. So, it's a little bit of a point of contention because a lot of roguelikes don't... Ow. That hoited. A lot of roguelikes don't actually follow the gameplay plan. Huh. Interesting. That was not the Archstone that I spawned in at. Fascinating. Fascinating. A lot of roguelikes don't follow the original game plan of the first Rogue. But basically a roguelike, as most people understand it, as most people will describe it, is you go into the level over and over and over and over again, and there's an RNG element, and you try to get like buffs and stuff. Play with my emotional support body real quick. And failure is part of the game. Some roguelikes have it where completed runs or certain milestones give you permanent buffs so that your next run you're a little bit stronger. You start from the beginning every time you play and unlock new upgrades when you die. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. And usually the gameplay is around like trying to center a build. Get a build going on, but because it has a lot of RNG, it can be difficult to get a build online. But that's part of the charm of the roguelike, is that every run is different. What is the spider's name? You never give name to spider. What is spider name? Uh-oh. Basically, all my blood pools down to my legs, and my body isn't getting circulation. And my heart has to speed up to compensate for the lack of blood flow. Salt is my best friend. However, there's also a roguelite. Yeah, and see, that's where, like, the distinction loses all meaning for me. Because, at the end of the day, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. I don't play any of them. Sorry. I play Vampire Survivors. That's kind of a roguelike. People like Vampire Survivors. Ow. No. Touch. Yuvaloth the spider. Yuvaloth. Yuvaloth. It sounds like a naughty word that Cthulhu would teach his cultists. That's what it sounds like. Yuvaloth. And then like some eldritch horror would be like, you didn't just say that. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, you have learned? Good. Now you know. It is always good to ask questions. It is better to look stupid momentarily than be stupid forever, I think is what Confucius said. Exactly. A roguelite is a game that you keep progression, but when you die, you lose all power-ups and you have to recollect them. Difficulty is also dynamic. Dynamic difficulty. I need to be more careful with the... I like roguelikes that can be fun. They're a very popular genre for a reason. A lot of people like them roguelikes. I get bored because I don't... They fall into the same, like... I know it's not true, but they occupy the same part of my brain as stuff like Minecraft and Terraria. Where it's not so much like a clear end goal, but the doing the same task over and over and over again and hoping to get better stuff every time. There are a lot of roguelikes that I like and play intensely for a couple of hours. After those initial hours, I'd never touch them again. Like Duviri, I really like Duviri runs for like a week. I have not touched Duviri after getting the Cinta and the Azathane and Argo and Vel. I got the things I wanted from Duviri and noped out. I was done. Which sucks, because I do really like that glaive. It looks really cool, but I have Guandao Prime, and I just can't be bothered to get a different melee weapon. I like taking my time to build a character. I struggle with games that reset your build. Yeah, it is a different... So, a roguelike, from my understanding, is not so much like... You don't go into it with a preset build. It's basically the game gives you something and you go, yep, that's what I'm doing. Be stupid forever is my favorite Elden Ring quote. I could do one type of mission like 5 times in a row, Maxwell, but I love the Duviri circuit because it changes every time. That's a roguelike. The Duviri circuit is a roguelite, actually, because you don't... Well, no, you actually do get a random frame every time, don't you? But I'm also bad at games. So if I was good, maybe I would like roguelikes more. Irrelevant. Being bad or good at games does not stop you from enjoying the roguelike. What stops your enjoyment is the pressure to perform being good at games. Not to pathologize you. You can be bad at the roguelike, my friend. I give you permission. So tonight you may notice that I'm not doing anything plot relevant. I'm kind of running around and killing soldiers I've already killed a million billion times. I need you to play Bloodborne sometime. That's the thing. We were going to discuss with our merry present band, and there's quite a few of you, which I'm really excited about. What should we play next? Realistically, what should we play next? What should we play next? I have had a lot of suggestions and asks. I've had a lot of suggestions and asks. So, I have had some people ask for Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I've had some people ask for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I have had a request for a Dark Souls run, which I will do. I will definitely do a Dark Souls run. My favorite game is Cory in the House for Nintendo DS. Cory in the House, isn't that... Okay, wait. Quiz me on my Cory in the House knowledge. Cory in the House is about a kid who lives in the White House, right? But Hollow Knight is a close second. Hollow Knight is one that I definitely need to play. And I feel like Hollow Knight would be a really good long playthrough. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm worried about. Demon's Souls did not take as much time as I thought it would. And I think one of the major things is that I'm getting better at longer streams. If you look at my Dead Space streams, or if you look at a lot of my early Majora's Mask streams, they only pushed an hour. Like, some even barely an hour. These ones are pushing 2, maybe 3. And that's different for me. I didn't start doing that. Maybe save Bloodborne from another time since you're playing a FromSoft game right now. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Because it's like, I'm not a FromSoft channel. Come here. Get smeckaded. I'm not a FromSoft channel, but I do adore FromSoft games. Yes, but I was mostly joking because the meme is Cory in the House is my favorite anime. I picked it up. Don't worry. I got your joke. I got your joke. I was just genuinely curious, but I did get your joke, and thank you for telling it. That took way too much work. I was fighting so hard to get up. That's true. And also, I would have to... What would I have to do? I would have to legally acquire a copy of Bloodborne and then set it up to stream. And I'm running out of space on my PC, guys. I'm running out of space on my PC due to the copious amounts of OnlyFans that I subscribe to. Joking, of course, I have too many VODs. I have too many VODs, and I deleted a bunch today, and that felt like a nightmare. That was really hard for me to do, because I always keep my VODs on my computer, because I'm like, you know, if I could ask, I want to throw you into the deep end. You want to throw me into the deep end? Of what? Of what? The pool? No, so I have so many VODs because I'm always telling myself Silk Song blind. Yeah, I would have to start. I think I would have to start with Hollow Knight. And then we go on to Silk Song. You know what I mean? Just for continuity's sake. Is that a scraping spear? Sir, is that a scraping spear? Holy bejesus, Michael Zaki. Why does he have a scraping spear? Should have looked for an external hard drive during Black Friday. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe I should have. Maybe I could have. Maybe I would have. But who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? Who cares? Scimitar. Yes, you're right, by the Rook. I should have looked for a external hard drive on Black Friday, but I'm not particularly worried about it. I just need to actually sit down and commit myself. Don't scraping spear me, brother. I need to actually sit down and commit myself to that purchase. Why do these guys do so much damage? And damn, Jesus, they hit like a truck. They hit like a truck. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? She's really hiding behind Tower Knight over here. Ow! 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 Okay. Grass. Because I'm always like, I'm gonna take my VODs and I'm gonna get some clips and I'm gonna upload them to a clip channel and I'm gonna make a Blue Sky and a Twitter and I'm gonna make a Discord, and then I never freaking do. And I probably won't before the new year, let's be honest. Let's be honest, I probably won't before the new year. What is that? What the heck was that? Like, I understand how important those actions are for the actual, like, maintenance and creation of a channel. But I also understand how much time and effort they would take. And I don't really have the energy right now. New Year's resolution, dude. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice sentiment. I think that's a good idea. New Year's resolution. Let's actually take this seriously, right? Where's my bow? I don't know where I put my bow. Youch. That hurt like the dickens. But that is a good idea, Rook. New Year's resolution. What was the game that Cobalt suggested? It was something about like a rabbit and it's a 3D platformer. That one could be a good game to try out, especially because it's like dirt cheap on Steam. Dirt cheap on Steam. I think once we beat Demon Souls, so Christmas is coming up. This is a truth. This is something that's going to happen. None of us can stop it. Time marches ever onward. The reason why I suggest that is because playing Hollow Knight both does and doesn't prepare you for Silksong. The mechanics are just different enough that you have to unlearn certain habits. You assume I make habits. You assume I make habits, my friend. But I do understand that they have, the thing is that I wouldn't be going in completely blind because I watched my sister play Silksong when it came out. And I think by the Rook, Burden. White bow. That bow is white. Overburden. Is it a brushwood shield? Can't unlearn if I don't learn. Amen. Amen. So I wouldn't be completely blind going into it, which might be sad for those involved who want to... Oh, it's a tower shield. Do Hollow Knight then? Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to do. I have tried and started Hollow Knight maybe like twice before, but I just like unfortunately 2D platformers have just never like tickled me. I think it would be way better with people to talk about it and enjoy it like as an art, one of the many arts, rather than just me playing it for my own enjoyment, right? Because I'm not gonna get much out of it. Then when you can go into Silksong, you can experience it with context anew. Yes, which will make me appreciate what it's doing a lot more for sure. It will make me appreciate what it's doing. Well, I should probably keep that white bow, shouldn't I? That would make sense. Play all of Hollow Knight, you will forget all you know of Silksong. Yeah. Sure. That's how my memory works. It's not like every single time that I do anything, just the mere, like... this is a good blow. It's not like every single time I do anything, I immediately associate it with a previous memory and or belief. Can you upgrade? Can you... Is it... Okay, is the white bow... I think these got hit by the scraping... Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah, they got hit by the scraping spear quite a bit, huh?
You come back.
Oh, man. I just saw those souls numbers and I balked. I went a little crazy. Also, the longer you wait to play Silksong, the more time for them to add more stuff to it. That's true. There might be a DLC release or something while I goof around with it. That is true. I had not considered such a possibility. Where's the maiden? There she is. There's my lady. Hey, lady. Ah, yeah. Art thou done? Art thou done? Okay, let's go talk to what's-his-face. Just dig into your gray matter and hit overwrite. DLC is already announced. See? See? We could get to the point where... But if the time it took to release Silksong is any indication, we might get the DLC in 2029. Oh, for all of y'all who like to watch Dan to Dan, we have a Season 3 announced for 2027. Yeah, but what about second DLC? I have no clue what about second DLC. How many DLCs do you think Silksong's gonna get? Didn't Hollow Knight 1 get... Ooh, 3? Did Hollow Knight 1 get 3? How many DLCs did Hollow Knight 1 get? Sorry, I'm yawning. Oh, man. Ooh-wee, baby. That was rough. Can you can upgrade the white bow. Colorless Demon Soul. 4. Yeah, okay. So what did they get? Grim Troop? That's it. No, what did they get? What did they get? They got the Grim... Yeah, this is a better bow now, I think. For now. For now. Bees? It got bees. What do you mean it got bees? You got bees? Who are bees? What do you mean it got bees? God Home. Thank you. Thank you. Pantheon, was that a DLC or was that God Home? Are Pantheon and God Home the same thing? I keep wanting to say it got Team Cherry, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the guys who made the game. They're not the people who, quote-unquote, like, they were not a DLC. They were creators. God Home, Pantheon, God Home, same thing. Okay, so I have two. I have two DLCs. I got 2 of them. I got 2 out of 4. That's a 50%. Does not pass. Does not pass. It does not pass. But I tried, and that's what matters. That's what matters. Oh, man. That's funny. I like how none of you are jumping in to actually tell me what the DLCs are. None of y'all remember neither. I see how it is. I see how it is. Yeah, let's get a bunch of arrows. I want to get a bunch of arrows. And then kill this guy. Hidden Dreams and Lifeblood. Alright, Nikki's king of chat. So saith Google. Google's king of chat. Huh. All of y'all gave up your kingship to a machine. Ow! Laser beams! Laser beams! What'd you drop? Shard of Darkmoon Stone. Regenerator's Ring. Regenerator's Ring. So, unfortunately, it's still a little bit undecided what we're gonna play. Not the Razor Beans. It's still unfortunately undecided what we're going to play. That's okay. We have a couple days. And that's why I'm like, I'm kind of glad the buffer of Christmas is here. One of the things that my horrific work schedule has given me, has offered me, is that I have a realistic reason to go, yeah, we're gonna take a break for a little bit. Not this weekend. We're gonna keep playing through to this weekend. We're probably gonna, play tonight, tomorrow, Sunday. What is tonight? Thursday? Tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Normal schedule. And then I'm not going to be back for the 24th and the 25th. I'm not Limu. I'm not Iron Mouse. You guys are not going to spend your Christmas with me. Sorry. You should do Street Fighter EX. Not the new one, but the original. Make a poll. But the problem with making a poll is that I don't have a functioning Discord yet. You know what I mean? I don't have a functioning Discord that is for this channel. And that would be a good idea to get before I decide to make a poll. You know what I mean? But Street Fighter EX is a really good... that's a really good idea. Atlas? Swinging with one that I've never heard of. What is Atlas? What do you do with Atlas? What is Atlas? Swinging in with the one that I've never heard of. What is Atlas? So... I did get Baldur's Gate 3 for the computer. I already own it for the console. I just wanted to play with computer mods. I wanted to see what the computer mods were up to. Some naughty things the computer mods are up to, by the by. But it is a very different experience. Play the entirety of FNAF. Would I be stepping on Markiplier's toes? I don't think I could make FNAF as entertaining as someone else could. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't have the countenance for FNAF. Maybe I'm wrong. What type of countenance does FNAF require? I feel like I'm not a loud reaction guy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, waha, he got spooked. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I want to go kill the guy on the dragon. I think I do this wrong every time. Atlas is an action RPG built like an old school MMO dungeon crawler. That is interesting. You guys have a lot of funny little games stored in your little brains. That is interesting. Atlas. Maybe I'll have to look that up. That might be a good idea. Oh, I'm yawning again because... because I'm tired as heck. I'm tired as heck. That's just the way it is sometimes. What's over here? It also has... Oh, like that one thing with the rabbit. Yeah, people are really big into the N64 type graphics. That's big in this nostalgia zeitgeist now. I feel like the millennials have stopped controlling... Lego Star Wars would be a good one. Lego Star Wars would be a good one. Lego Star Wars. Star Wars Battlefront would also be... Yeah, do that. Throw out all the games that you want me to play. That's what everybody's doing. Can you stop? Stop! Oh my gosh. Alright. Sag. Portal? Yeah, I have had Portal come up a few times. Portal would be a really good idea, because that would be a blind playthrough. That would be a blind playthrough of a beloved game. Portal might be a really good idea. If you guys don't mind, I'm notoriously bad at puzzles by this point. I am notoriously bad at puzzles by this point. Like, proven bad at puzzles. So you guys would have to be fine with that, and also, like, careful with the backseating. If you can watch me fail at a Portal puzzle for 30 minutes, then that might be a really good idea. I was also thinking like a Pokemon sometime might be fun. Like Pokemon Emerald or something like that would be a good idea. Y'all like Pokemon? That might be a good idea. I like the indie games that... Atlas was also made by a furry NSFW artist who I think wanted to make something he could put in his portfolio. Interesting. I am getting a lot of furry game recommendations. The only Pokemon games I played are Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Go. Yeah, they are fun little creatures, and they're fun little games. They're fun little creatures for fun little games and fun little girls and boys. And I feel like I don't have a big Pokemon audience. From what you guys talk, like, it seems like something that you're not super familiar with. Which would be cool. It would be cool to introduce my chat to one of the, my 10 plus binders on over 4,000 cards I've counted personally from a file cabinet full of, I might like Pokemon. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know if I'm convinced, though. You might need a couple more. Ooh. What are you? Oh, you're one of the assassin guys. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Hey, that's a good idea. I can't carry more of those. I can't carry any more of those. Spore would probably be a very dangerous, but a very fun one. Love Mystery Dungeon. It's so fun. Yeah, Mystery Dungeon is so fun. And you get to be a Pokemon. You get to be a Pokemon. Okay, these are probably full moon grasses. Why do you get so much full moon grass? Man, the ad experience is something else. Sports betting immediately followed by crypto ads. Ugh. I don't know, man. I hate mainstream Pokemon games. Mystery Dungeon hit me hard. Why do you hate mainstream Pokemon games? What about them? I don't know if I can vibe with that, Nikki. Why do you hate mainstream Pokemon games? I think they're awesome. Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon. Ah, it's hot. I'm playing Za right now, and I'm so happy to have my... Oh, Legend ZA. Legend Z... Or... Yeah. Ah! No! My bad. My bad, I boined to death. Okay, so I don't think we're ready for that area. Or if we are, I don't have the mental fortitude to take it on right now. I don't have the mental. Why don't we go to the Valley of Defilement and run around for a little bit? That's our next area. We need to do the Valley of Defilement and run around for a little bit. I don't know if I'll get to Dirty Colossus, but I could look at him. And if Dirty Colossus is dead, then Dirty Colossus is dead, you know what I'm saying? Might be a good idea. I lose interest in them after the second gym like clockwork. I have tried so hard to like main Pokemon games, but I feel like I just waste my money on them, given I don't finish them. Yeah, I can understand that. And like game rental isn't so much a thing anymore. So it's like, yeah, you doubly feel like you waste your money because you spend like, what, $60 on a new Pokemon game and then play them for a couple of hours. Yeah, and it's not like you can just rent it to try it out. I gotta go. I don't work early, but I knew to get up. Alright. Thank you for popping in, Rook. I always love seeing ya. I hope you have a good night. Sleep well. I'll miss you. Mwah. Okay, watch out. Don't want to fall to my death. That would be an embarrassing start. And it's also raining. I hope that's rain. I really hope that's rain. You know what I'm saying? Could be rain of a different kind. Chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Yeah, no disrespect if you like them, more power to you. And no disrespect if you don't like them, more power to you. You know what you like and you know what you dislike. And that is perfectly okay. They are not for everyone. Video games. They're not for everyone. I actually watched a really interesting video essay on the concept of it's not that deep. It was a really interesting video essay. I think the guy is like an actual English teacher or is adjacent to teaching the humanities. So he had a particular thing to say about the concept of, specifically, you guys remember when that meme was going around and it was like the curtains are blue and what your English teacher thinks it means versus what it means. Yeah, video essays are so good, bro. Video essays are so good. I feel like I could write a video essay. That's not to say that I could, like, you know, edit one or write it about something interesting, but if I needed to branch out into other content, video essays would probably be where I go. Might be a fun way to do it. I'm a big fan of Pokemon. I have a folder on my computer just filled with Pokemon games. Yeah, yeah. And they're fun. They're fun. I like the little creatures. I think they are cute. I forgot I also have 10k cards of Pokemon TCG Pocket. How much did that cost? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. But it was a very good video essay on the concept of it's not that deep. And he was arguing that the problem is that a lot of the times, yeah, it is that deep. And second off, the people who usually posit it's not that deep are not trying to engage in discourse. They are not acting in good faith. When they say you're overthinking it or it's not that deep, it's not because they really do believe it's not that deep. It's because they don't want to engage with the meaning underneath the thing that the person is talking about or criticizing. And that these people are often the very same people who say, let people enjoy things, and then they don't let people enjoy discourse or deeper interpretations of art. My favorite video essay was Space Jam 2 is a lie? What's that? Is that like a 4 free packs daily and saving the hourglasses for 10 polls in the share feature? Okay. I was really worried, Oceans. I was really worried that you gave yourself over to gambling. But I'm glad to see that you are responsible with your Pokemon polls. I love anti-intellectualism. Yeah, that's basically what he was talking about. That the rise of anti-intellectualism on the internet and in academia is really scary. But that let people enjoy things also applies to people who enjoy things by analyzing them, which is me. I enjoy things deeply by interacting with them beyond a surface level. And I think I will always remember, and I don't think he intended to hit me so bad with it, but it was something that I will always remember, where we were watching Rango, an animated film about westerns. People are like, oh, it's an animated film about a lizard cowboy. No, it's about westerns. It's about the genre westerns, and it plays with and subverts and zigzags a lot of Western tropes. And it does it in really intelligent ways. And I was explaining one of these tropes. I was like, see, Rango does a really good thing with the hats. The hats that the characters wear. Because in a Western, you can usually tell who the hero is straight from the outset by the color hat they wear. Rango's so good because Rango's really good. Yeah, Rango's so good because it's good. How's that for circular logic? A hero will usually wear... I met someone who did spend like $1,000 and had 33k cards. I was like, do not have... Do they not have rent or food money? Concerned. Exactly. I'm always worried about people with gambling. Gambling is becoming... Like, I saw one person whose name was like Tulip something, which was really... Remember when I mentioned that the Dutch ate their prime minister? Yeah, it was over an event called, like, the Tulip Bell. You should look it up. They ate their prime minister. So, I felt it was really on the nose that he was basically like, hey, with this new app we're launching, what we can do is say someone has a 5% chance to win an election, right? And then you bet $250,000 that they're going to win, right? And then you go out and you get a bunch of people to help you win that bet. And it's like, oh God, that's corruption. That's corruption. You're advocating for corruption. That's corruption. That's corruption. That's corruption. It's illegal, but because it's digital, I guess it doesn't count anymore. But his name was Tulip, and that's like, oh my God, a little on the nose, right? You're gonna reference the event where they ate their Dutch prime minister with the Tulip Bell and out for, like, just advocate for government corruption? Hello? Is the satire there? Where's the joke? No. So, I was explaining the hats. White hat means good guy. Black hat means bad guy. Brown hat means a little bit somewhere in between. Right? That's shorthand in Westerns. I examined Space Jam from the point of view of it being about Michael Jordan and his struggle with trying to be the best and existing in a world where no one can touch him, and he has to rediscover his humanity. He then examined Space Jam 2 and how it did not fit thematically with the first Space Jam. And then he showed the true Space Jam 2, where it was just a yaoi fanfic he wrote where Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny were lovers. Fair. Fair statement, I think. Fair statement. If Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny kissed, would it look like this? So I was explaining that trope, and my friend looked over and he went, you know nobody cares, right? And I immediately just petered out my explanation and I felt crushed. I was like, so, I don't know, like, it hit me viscerally, right? Like, cheeks burning, duck head into shoulders, like, holy bejesus, I was just shut down. Yeah, it is mean. I don't think he meant it like that. I think he was just trying to be, like, kind of an offhand, like, yeah, you always talk about stuff like this. But it did come out incredibly mean. And, it was absolutely a bait and switch parody, and I love it. Good. Bait and switch parody funny. We'll drop the broken sword. I don't see the point in it. But it still did indeed hurt. Like, it still indeed just left me like, oh my god, you know? Lady! She's here. Ow. Help. Help. No! I forgot that poisoning makes healing half effective. Holy bejesus. It's the first Mad Butcher Mildred. It's the very first Mad Butcher, guys. How exciting is that? Soul staple, Mad Butcher Mildred. But it's like, it's very true. You know, some people just enjoy deeper analysis of tropes and story and what the authors may be intending versus what the effect is and what's going on. And I really like doing that. I remember one time I was talking to one of my previous partners, and she was like, "I'm so mad at you." I was like, "Why?" We had just gotten out of a movie theater, and she goes, "You know, before you, I could just watch a movie and turn my brain off, and now I have to sit there and think about plot and characters because I know that you are." And I'm like, sorry that you didn't engage with your media before. But it's true. Some people don't engage with their media. It's just not how they... That's just not how they deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I always engage. And that's why I can't watch things a lot of the time. Because I can't not turn my brain off, right? I can't not sit and engage with the media fully, which means that it can be exhausting to watch new things. If I'm not rewatching something that I've already picked apart and enjoyed, then I'm going to have trouble watching it because I'm going to have to try to come to terms. Some media is for analysis, some media is for fun spectacle. All media is for analysis. But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. The problem is that I analyze it from the spectacle viewpoint then. Sometimes it's hard for me to watch a movie or show because I'm too aware they're acting and we can't suspend my disbelief. Another video say I enjoyed was Bricky's examination of Black Ops 7 and how it's a failure that should be celebrated as an example of why AI shouldn't lead. Yes. I love Bricky. I love Bricky so much. I love Bricky so much. He is one of my favorites. One of my favorite creators. I love his comedic voice. I love his video essays. I love the way he talks about video games. I think his streams are delightfully cringe, and he is wonderfully kind of earnest in a way I really like. And I like how all of his VTuber friends bully him. I really like Bricky. Did I tell you that his stream with Cottontail is what made me realize I want to do this? When he and Cottontail played Bloons Tower Defense 6 together, I was like, I want that. I want to do that. How do I do that? So I owe that to them. Going, I wanna do that too. But I love Bricky so much. I haven't seen that video yet. All that to say. I haven't sat down and watched that video yet. And I really should, because I really like his video essays about things in gaming. Oh, there's my souls. I should go get those. I gotta swing first. Yeah, and it's like crazy because the Epic Video Game Store man, Mr. Epic, CEO of Epic Games, was like, you know, AI is just going to be part of every avenue of development and people should just accept it. And it's like, no, we don't have to accept it. You can say it all you want, doesn't make it true. And a lot of people are acting with like resignation. You should pivot to a pure dex build and use blind to kill a lot. Don't I have to kill Selen for blind? Do I have to make this black tendency? I could make it black tendency. Because doesn't blind drop from her phantom? I should pivot to pure dex build. Why? Isn't blind bad? Are you going to try to heal? Yep. You got to unlock her first. I'm going to sneeze real quick if you don't. Did you see B freak out when I sneezed? Oh, that was a good sneeze. That was a good sneeze. Thank you. Thank you for the blessing. All of the above, I think. All of the above. I have to. I don't want to make the world black tendency. I was given that video when I was pissed off about a YouTube channel that uses AI to write and read what if stories. Yeah, I've been doom spiraling about AI for a while now. Actually, I talk about it all the time. I talk about it all the time, and it's because it terrifies me and it gives me a grievous moral injury. Actually, but yeah, that makes sense that you got it recommended to you when you were already upset about an AI thing. I bet was the video like cathartic? Does he really lay into it, or is it kind of detached? I think Bricky can do either. Cat's ring. Cat's ring. Look at the cat icon. Wait, can I like? Can I mess with my... Give me a second. I'm trying to mess with my... Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the cat icon? Look at the cat icon. So, the cat, from what I've read, the cat icon was a placeholder image, supposedly. Left in by a developer. This is a real developer's cat. Do you see that underneath the stamina bar up there? A real developer's cat that was immortalized in Demon's Souls 2009. Which is, that's fun. That's really fun. This breaks damage from falls, but it's not very useful, unfortunately, for the cat ring. Because fall damage is not that bad in Demon's Souls until you die. That's amazing. 10 out of 10. It's wonderful. It's really good. It's wonderful. I love wacky little things like that in video games. It makes me happy. And Demon's Souls has a lot of like jank and charm like that, where things got left behind or don't really have kind of like a polished edge to it. Demon's Souls is really good at stuff. Cannot carry it, overburden you. And speaking of unpolished edges. Alright. I think we're just gonna have to leave it, chat. Are you gonna be fine with that? Do you guys like the little poison noise happening in the background? I'm just taking continuous poison damage. That's all fine and dandy, I think, but I hope you don't mind the little poison noise happening in the background. I don't know how loud it is on the desktop audio. I mean, I can check. Did you know that cats actually have a parallelogram that shows how likely they'll get hurt by a fall? A parallelogram? Explain... I mean, I should stop picking up items if I can't put them on. Explain parallelogram. What do you mean by parallelogram? Parallelogram. That's a fun word. What's your guys' favorite word? Ow. Come on. Hit you with big stick. Royal Lotus. AI makes me spiral sometimes. I want to make music, and I know that AI can't create anything of its own, but it can create at a speed that is physically impossible to compete with. And for a lot of people, that speed... Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem, is that people equate process with goodness. Because the only thing that matters is the end product. They only care about the end product and not the because a lot of times art is process. What matters is not so much the end product, at least, like, unless you're trying to make a work that is supposed to be viewed by millions, right? A lot of the times what you're doing with art is simply enduring the process. Getting better at creation. Speaking a language that, you know, you and a select other few people can learn because you take the time to learn it. How to draw. How to compose. How to write. How to write for stage. Or film. Or a novel. These are all different languages, and they all take a different level of skill and time. They take time. So, one of the big things that AI has as an advantage, quote unquote, is it takes a time out of the process. It can deliver you a novel instantly. But the problem is that AI cannot create. It can only synthesize, right? And there are arguments that human beings also cannot create. That they can also only synthesize based on the knowledge that they have absorbed. And yet, every human being is unique enough to create something that is entirely theirs. Have you guys been following the Piss Dark saga? Have you guys been following the Piss Dark saga? Have you ever heard of it? There's a YouTube video for you guys to get engaged with, right? That is entirely human. There is no other way that the Piss Dark saga could have been created. No AI could have come up with the Piss Dark saga. When cats fall, there's a range of heights that would hurt them the most. Too short a fall, they won't get hurt. The higher the start point, though, the more time they have to orient themselves to break their fall and mitigate damage. Didn't Isaac Newton create calculus? There is an argument about whether he created calculus or he simply discovered it. Is math invented or is math discovered? Are we simply uncovering the rules for the universe or are we defining them? That is an ongoing debate about mathematics. Whether we created or are simply putting a name to things that are already there, right? Because physics, calculus, they describe the rules of how things work from a mathematical standpoint. But, yeah, chicken before the egg. Exactly right, right? Yeah. Are we just describing the way that the universe works? Or are we creating the way the universe works? I don't know. I'm not good at math. I maxed out at algebra, but I do remember people talking about, at least in my college math for the people class. We talked about, like, fractals and famous, like, Euler, I don't remember how to pronounce his name. That was during COVID. That was a COVID semester. So for me to remember anything about that semester would be, like, impossible. Are you a big fan of math? Ow! I'm dead. I should go back to the Nexus. This is actually a good thing. With a certain range, they hit a dangerous velocity without the chance to land on their feet, so to speak, as the saying goes. So, cats have a terminal velocity. You know who doesn't? Squirrels. Squirrels can't reach terminal velocity. I still don't know what happens if you drop a squirrel from a plane, though. I feel like they would die, not necessarily due to the impact of the ground, but just like the shock of being dropped from a plane. Well, there was that one thing as well, where it was discovered that an old manuscript from like 1300, where a monk wrote down the beginning of a calculus, but it got written over, as monk manuscripts are wont to do. Yep. Monks they had a limited amount of paper, so they just constantly wrote over other guys' work all the time, especially if the other guy's work looks like scribblings. And you're telling me that a monk saw another guy starting calculus? Yeah, no, I would have gone, this is nothing. And started writing something way more important, like my Snail Knight fan fiction. No, absolutely, yes, I do remember reading that. There is a famous, I think it was Claude, no, was it Claude Debussy? It might have been, it wasn't Satie. One of those guys who were one of those early modern composers did well, no, this is the wrong one. They did a piece about a monk manuscript that particularly moved them because the monk's manuscript had cat paw prints all over it. Because a cat had, walked into the ink pot and then walked onto the manuscript. And he titled it A Monk and His Cat. Which I think is nice. I think that's really sweet. That so moved him that he decided to write a whole music piece about it. Which, again, AI couldn't do that. It couldn't be moved by a cat manuscript. You could prompt it, but it wouldn't be the same. The process is where art is. You know what I mean? The process is where art is. How did the human being who created this piece come to the conclusion that this was the piece they needed to make? That's where art lies. Not in the end result. We could fall down here. Get that item. Yeah, I have to be careful here. Easy peasy. No! He lives! I think there's a sweet spot on this club. I mean, it's a giant meat cleaver, but it's considered a giant hammer in the game, so I call it a club. I have a question. You are allowed to ask questions. We encourage questions in chat. As long as it's a safe question. Poisoned! You are allowed to ask questions. I will tell you afterwards whether or not I will answer it. Isn't that exciting? You never know. Okay. Where did we die? That is where... That is the... Over here, right? Like, just straight ahead? I bought me a cat. The cat pleased me. I have a cat out there. I freaking hate him. He's fat. I try to get him to be less fat, and he can't stop being fat. Garfield. No, where did I die? I want my stuff. What would be a worse power? The ability to be forgotten or the ability to be invisible or intangible? When you ask worse, and you say ability, like worse power, which one would be like less useful? Which one would be less good? What metric are we measuring worse by? I want to know what metric we're measuring worse by. Because both of those could be quite useful. It reminds me of the guy from X-Men. His name is Forget-Me-Not. And his power is the second you stop... Well, power. It's his mutation. The second you stop looking at him, you forget he was there. You forget him. You forget everything about him. It's like the silence from Doctor Who. In that season I didn't watch. I see a power but curse. Oh, so is it like always on? Are you Forget-Me-Not or are you the Invisible Man? Is that what you're asking? Would you rather be the Forget-Me-Not or the Invisible Man? I would much rather be the Invisible Man. Like, in that scenario, I would much rather be, because I feel like to be forgotten is sadder to never be perceived. You know what I mean? Because I would still remember. I would still remember. And that to me is tragic. And also, like, that would be so rough to grow up with all the time. We're gonna be very careful right now. This guy is dangerous. I don't know. What do you think? And also, you can get into some mischief if you're always invisible. I read a book in grade school. I want to say it was by an author adjacent to Andrew Clements. I don't remember if it actually was Andrew Clements. I was a big Andrew Clements fan in elementary school. Can I get any Frindle enjoyers to stand up? Anybody read Frindle? No. So, the book was about a kid who suddenly turned invisible. And he, like, was completely invisible, and he was trying to hide the fact that he was invisible before his parents come home to witness the fact that he is invisible. And I always thought that was really interesting. The ability to be completely invisible all the time, no matter what. Yeah, it sucks, but also you can get into some mischief. You can do some wacky. You can rob a bank. Or stick a tack on your teacher's chair. I agree. When I was younger, I read a fanfic called Background Pony. It kind of traumatized you. What do you mean? It was an MLP thing, wasn't it? It was an MLP thing. Was it about being forgotten? Was it about being forgotten, or was it about being invisible? That is a good question. Is it about being forgotten, or is it about being invisible? I think we're just going around in a big circle. There's an... Yeah, it's about both? It's about both? They were invisible and easy to forget? Oh, forgotten. Okay. I was like, they're really piling on the trauma there, aren't they? That's really rude. Is that a hurt no comfort? Is that what they call those fanfics? I had a friend in college who was a big hurt no comfort friend. Hurt no comfort fan. they did not hurt me as a friend. They were very kind person, but man, they read the most tragic and like no I mean no comfort, right? Like use the words that it already uses itself. There was no recourse, just straight tragedy. Background pony. Is that like, do people make, okay, this is gonna sound like a stupid question, but I want to know the depth. I want to know the depth, right? This is not a surface question, this is a depth of the fandom question. Do people make like in-depth, this is my pony OC, it ended with the character in question reaching their goal but not taking it? Yeah, that sounds... Second regenerator's ring! Can we wear two? Can we wear two at the same time? Can I wear two at the same time? Can I wear two at the same time? Ah, then why do you give me two? Oh, I could have been running the entire time. Sorry, guys. I could have been running the entire... Mirrodin Hammer. I could have been running the entire time, and I didn't. I did not do so. I read a book in school about a kid that was, what if America had a one-kid rule? And he had to hide in the attic and made friends with the other illegal girl next door, but I don't remember what it was called. He talks about what it's like to have to pretend you don't exist your whole life. Yeah, I mean, even in China, the one-kid rule was enforced with fines, not disappearing the child. So that sounds particularly dystopian. That sounds particularly dystopian. Thought you weren't streaming tonight? Heck, nope, I'm here, Cobalt. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I considered it. I really did consider it. I was like, I'm sad and my head hurts. I don't want to do it. But I'm here. I'm here. I sucked it up. I sucked it up and I put my big boy pants on and I'm here. So, welcome to the stream, Cobalt. It's lovely to see you. I want a roll call. Who's still here? Who's still here? I know Rook had to go to bed. Who else went to bed? Roll call. As much as I love Rook, I think Rook should quit their job so they can watch me all the time. The most in-depth MLP fic was Fallout I have heard of that one. I actually have heard of Fallout Equestria. Cue that once. I'm still here. Also, bad news. I ran out of sub time. That's okay. Now you can watch my ads. No. That's okay. You don't have to. That's not bad news. You do not have to be sad. Hi, Aki. How are you? Ocean, did you go to bed? Also, yeah, Fallout Equestria is pretty deep. Okay, so I got questions about Fallout Equestria. And I'm wondering, so is it just... Is it just... Give me a second. I'm scared. I'm scared. Is it just My Little Pony Fallout? Or am I being reductive? Someone got really into the idea... Thieves Ring. We're just getting the duplicate of every ring in here. I don't know much about it, never read it, but it's basically Fallout but ponies. Yeah. Huh. And how long is it? Like, how many chapters did someone pour into this? What is the longest fanfic? In Thafin, that seems like a fact you'd know. That seems like a fact you'd know. What's the longest fanfic? Still ongoing? Huh. Okay. Okay, I respect that. Still ongoing, huh? I'm sad. Why couldn't Ocarina of Tim keep going? Someone bring back Ocarina of Tim. It died in 2010. Why did it have to die in 2010? I miss you, Ocarina of Tim. I fell down. I need to go back up. I didn't mean to fall down. So much rain. Okay, yeah. Bug. Ew, God, ew, ew, God, ew. What the heck kind of attack is that? It was like the Loud House one, right? One of, or if not the longest piece of literature in general. That sounds really funny. What is the Loud House? What is that about? Is that that's the Nickelodeon show, right? I remember when they did the Nickelodeon, like, Smash Bros. For a week. Everybody played that for a week. And I remember there being characters from the Loud House in it. Killed slugs. Ow. Mean. Mean. I hate these things. At least they don't blow up like the ones in Shrine of Storms. There's small mercies. This place is so bad for souls. It is so bad for souls. Hey, the slug ball. Y'all like seeing the slug ball? Where, can I hit it yet? Moonlight Greatsword, trying to get it. Trying to get it. Isn't Loud House the one that was super stupid ugly, or is that another one? Are you thinking of Fanboy and Chum Chum? Fanboy and Chum Chum was stupid ugly. But I don't know if the Loud House was stupid ugly. Am I going like the wrong way? Am I distracted? Yes. Where slugs? Slug. They gotta be down here. It wasn't that mean. I mean, it was ugly, but it was, dead on arrival. Loud House was fine. I think Pseudo Hartman. I need to do something to them. I don't remember how to knock these guys down. I think I have to hit them with a sword. I think I have to hit them with an S sword. I have to get up there and hit them. Slugs. Sound effects. I wonder, these guys drop like Sucker Stone or something, right? They're really coming down. It's raining slugs. Hallelujah. Ooh, pardon. If Hartman, then yeah, it's not the one I was thinking of. Butch Hartman. Did you guys grow up watching a lot of Butch Hartman cartoons? Butch Hartman. Man, what a downturn that man's career has taken. An interesting level of downturn on this man's career. Because he made some, like, he had concepts for some legitimately really well-liked, you know, cartoons. There were some really well-loved cartoons in his repertoire. And then something happened, brother. Something happened. I think, like, most people mark the decline around Tough Puppy, but, like, the later seasons of Fairly Odd Parents, like, before we get to Chloe, before we get to the dog, it really started to drop in quality around Poof, if not before then. When they keep on keeping on, I'm going to bed. Good night, Nikki. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming in. You have yourself a wonderful night. Yeah, I'm thinking about... I don't know. Should I get to Dirty Colossus tonight? Dirty Colossus? I think the fame might have gotten to his head. I'm wondering if... it's like a George Lucas situation. Right? I know that, yes, definitely he is kind of an arrogant guy. And he's got a big head. But I'm wondering if it's kind of like a George Lucas situation where he just got surrounded by sycophants who believed he could do no wrong. And he started to take that at heart. Not saying that that's what, like, exactly happened with George Lucas. But George Lucas definitely had people who could not tell him no. I just know Tough Puppy has one of the worst character designs of all time. Something happened to his character design. He used to make some legitimately well-designed characters. Not attractive in, like, a physical or, like, in a... okay, this is dumb. Not attractive in, like, a... just in, like, a physical or in a... sorry. I don't want to die to this thing. That's not what I'm trying to say. Just well-designed characters. Well-designed characters. And something happened where he cannot do that anymore. Because you look at Danny Phantom. You look at Shigo. You look at, like, Ron. You look at the characters, like, in Fairly Odd Parents. You look at how simple and good that Timmy Turner is. Like, that is a good protagonist design. It is immediately recognizable. And it's also immediately recognizable as a bully or like a loser who gets bullied. You look at Vicky and you're like, okay, yes, I understand what she's about. But, like, his newer stuff just does not carry. It has, like, basic anatomy problems. What happened, Butch? What do you mean that you just forgot how to draw human beings? I know that he had kind of an interesting style even to begin with, because he always had to have 5 fingers on the hand and stuff like that, and I don't know. It's like, wow, you have forgotten the basic fundamentals of art, and this is not like you. This is not like you. You are a genuinely talented creator. What happened? And I'm wondering if it's like George Lucas with Episode 1, or the prequel series, where people just didn't push back because he was a legend by this point. He was a legend by this point, so they let him do whatever he wants, which leads to things like, you know, him saying that Jar Jar is a more important character than they've ever had before. How many racial stereotypes can you stuff into Episode 1, George Lucas? How many racial stereotypes can you stuff into Episode 1? Realistically, it would be good if he did none. But whatever. I don't like these bugs. I dislike these bugs a lot, actually. They drop kind of an obscene amount of souls per, though, for what they are. Which is funny, because a lot of the other enemies just don't drop anything. Yeah, up here. We need to get that sword down. I want to use the Moonlight Greatsword. Faith builds in this game are really fun, but they only have one damaging spell. Luckily for Faith builds, the damaging spell is like one of the best damaging spells in the series. But, it's still only one damaging spell. So, but they do have the Moonlight Greatsword, which is a Faith weapon in this one, unlike every other game in the series. No, stop hurting me. I kind of really like it as a Faith weapon. I understand that, like, Int and the Moon got associated with each other. That the Blade of the Dark Moon and the Dark Moon Greatsword, Dark Moon Blade, the Moon became associated with Int instead of Faith. But in this game, like, look at that. The slug ball. Yeah, he did go on the weird, like, Christo nationalist trend, didn't he? That did happen. Is he still on that kick? Was he, like, trying to go right-wing grifter? Am I doing this right? Yeah, I'm doing this right. Ew. Very gross. Very gross. Disgusting. Yeah. Was he following the right-wing grifter pipeline, or was he just, like, really in that circle? Like, he believed that to be true? Because I feel like Daddy Derek of Cool Cat fame is also following the same pipeline. Which is interesting. Failed entertainer into right-wing grifter. Check it. Every time. Failed entertainer into right-wing grifter. Happens every time. Okay, so Moonlight Sword, then what? Get 2 dirty... Should we kill the Dirty Colossus tonight? We're streaming longer than I thought I was going to. We're putting a little bit more time into this than I thought I was going to. But that's fine. That's fine. It's been fun. Look at that! Our prize awaits us in the sea of dead slugs. Sea of dead slugs. I don't know, he did it really early in that kind of trend, so it makes me feel like it was a genuine drive for him. Huh. But is he still there? Is that like he's still his thing? And what got him in it? Like, why did he go, yeah, this is gonna be what I do now? I guess, like, you know, a desire to quote-unquote clean up his country. But Butch, who hurt you? Who made you decide that the only thing you could do was cleanse? Why? I'm interested in the why. There we go. We got a cool sword. Imagine if it said we could not carry overburdened. That would be so sad. I think the Moonlight Greatsword is practically weightless, however. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, only magic, only faith scaling, and its weight of 2. It's a gorgeous weapon in this game, by the by. Look at that. Look at that. Just a gorgeous weapon. Last time I checked, he's still pushing his family-friendly Christian streaming channel. Bomber and or Space Crew. What is Bomber Crew? Is it like Bomberman? Is it Bomberman? We were discussing like what games to play. We had a big long discussion about what games would be worth playing and or not. What games would be worth playing and or not. And there were some interesting ones offered. Flies. Gross. Hey. Dead Filthy Woman. Bomber Crew is a small cheap game where you play as a crew flying a World War II. Oh, that does sound fun. Is it like a simulation game, or is it like, how does it play? That brings Lancaster, if I recall correctly, with a DLC for a B-17. Very fascinating. Very fascinating. B-17, Flying Fortress. My favorite World War II era plane is the P-38 Lightning. I really like the P-38 Lightning. I did sing for that show choir. I sang Coming In on a Wing and a Prayer, which I think is about it is about a bomber crew, isn't it? Do they have that song up here? Not so much a sim as you play, but you play as the entire crew. Okay, and do you, like... Is the crew established characters? Yours is the Mosquito. La Mosquito. Coming in on a wing and a prayer. that was the song I had to sing. Which is where that phrase comes from. If you guys did not know, coming in on a wing and a prayer comes from that song. If I recall correctly. If I recall correctly. I don't want to give you false narratives. The crew is not established, so... Oh! And can they die? Because being a bomber crew is not the safest of positions. Minning on a wing and a prayer. We're coming in on a wing and a prayer. Okay. What was that? Who made that sound? Oh, these are the flymen. They are covered in flies. Who is that? Who is making that sound? If you keep them alive, they level up and get better skills, but you can lose either individual crew members or even the entire plane. As is wont to happen with bombing runs. As is wont to happen with bombing runs. Oh, one more to go. Ah! What the frick was that about? You can still carry on. Space crew is the same, except it's space with a spaceship. That does really sound quite a bit of fun. Cobalt, thank you for the suggestions. I need to get... You know what we need to get? We need to get a sheet. We need to get a piece of paper. We need to write down every single suggestion you guys give me. And I need to keep that somewhere. Because God bless, y'all give me some stuff. Y'all give me some stuff to chew over and consider. Though with one more to come, we can still carry on. Okay, yes, this way. I get lost sometimes. You could start that up. That'd be a good thing to share with my eventual Discord. That would be a really good thing to share. That is a good idea. Don't start anything up that would take labor. I don't want you to have to do anything that would take time out of your schedule. You don't have to do that. But that is a good idea, I feel. I love flat food PNG. Flat rotten fruit PNG. Very good. I think there's an item here. Oh, it's not bad. Yeah, there was a use for the mantling there that we rarely get to see. And we're gonna have to fall down again to get that item. But that is a nice idea. I think Grapefruit did something similar, where he had a big Excel sheet of what games he has played, what games he has not played, and what games he's planning to play. And you could look, because he would get a lot of questions and requests for games, and he'd be like, refer to the chart. Which, I mean, that's just prudent. Especially if you're a variety streamer, that's just prudent. To be like, here's the games I have played, here's the games I haven't played, here's the games I want to play. If you have a suggestion, add it to the sheet. I will look it over, my friend. That's just a really good idea. Organization is so hard. You have to put so much effort into being organized. You know what I mean? You can't just vibe it. I want to just vibe it. I just want to vibe it, brother. Cannot. Cannot. You have to take it a little bit seriously. There's an item back there. But I do like those suggestions. I might look up the Plane Crew one after this. I'm going to play Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to play it religiously, but I will look that up. What was the game with the rabbit? What was the game with the rabbit girl? What was the game with the rabbit girl? What was the game with the rabbit girl? Do you remember the video game with the rabbit girl? 'Cause I forgot the rabbit girl. Be more specific. It was the Pseudo-Regalia. Pseudo-Regalia. Yes, that was the one we talked about. Yeah, I guess, like, there are a few games with the rabbit girl, but I had hoped you were reading my mind. Yes, pseudo regalia, because I think we talked about that. Regalia, regalia. How do you guys say it? Regalia or regalia? Regalia. Maybe it's a long A. I hadn't considered. Hadn't considered. Das is goat. Das a goat? It's like a. She's like a rabbit goat. She's a rabbit goat. Goat roo. Rabbit goat roo. Rabbit goat elk. She's got horns. Like a jackalope. She's a jackalope girl. Yeah. Give it a second. No, we don't need to do it the crazy way. It's in the thighs. Like, rabbit girls have big thighs, right? That's the way it is. Lopunny from Pokemon. What's her name? Mirko from My Hero Academia. And the Rabbit Guru from Pseudo Regalia. They all have big thighs. That's how you know they're a rabbit girl. Usada Picora from Hololive. Rabbit girl. The character is named Seabill, and no, she does not wear pants. I did see that. I like that most of the designs and stuff end up giving her pants. That's really funny to me. They're like, yeah, she can't have her rabbit Tussie out all the times. That's not gonna work for us. Put that away. I'm gonna eat that and hope for the best. No. I'm hoping I don't get pizened again. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's a Shotel. We can drop it. We don't need another Shotel. Why don't she wear pants? It looks a little odd. I see a lot of them where they give her like the bunny suit. There is an alternate costume that gives her pants, but also disables the cosmetics of all the upgrades. See, like, why? Because I remember. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I like a lot of the art I saw of her when I looked her up. They give her kind of the bunny suit, like the Playboy bunny suit, the leotard. That's the word I'm looking for. They give her the leotard, and that looks pretty good. She just I don't know. I'm not like if she wants to not wear pants, that's her prerogative. I just think from a character design standpoint, there's a lot of gray down there. There's a lot of gray down there that could be really broken up. You know what I mean? Don't know about the no pants things. That's how it's always been. Nothing's showing. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that it's like, can't even see it. So, okay. But I'm talking about from like a character design standpoint. It just feels like there should be a color there to break it up. So when I see art of it, that is, realistically probably an attempt at censorship or bowdlerization of the fact that she is pantsless. It does, in my humble opinion, look a little bit quote-unquote better because it breaks up that big gray mass that is her booty cheeks and makes it look more intentional. It makes it look a little bit more intentional. Oh, this is the shortcut. This is the shortcut to the beginning of the area. You know, the shortcut that is to the beginning of all time in space. Off-topic bomber cruise on sale, 240. That's probably a good purchase. That's a good purchase. That's a good idea. That sounds like a fun game. I don't know how many streams I could squeeze out of it, but it could be a good game for one. You know what I mean? Ow. Well, less than ideal. Especially because we got poisoned by blood being sprayed on us. I don't want to know what diseases we've just procured. I don't want to know what diseases we have procured. Well, 6 or 7 is interesting because... Sorry, I was flashbanged. No, it is interesting because like how big of the game? How big of the game is it? Because if I'm doing 2 to 3 hour streams, six streams of it is 12 hours ish. And that feels like a lot to me. But I don't know the size of the game or what we're intending to do. Do I do the entire World War? I have, okay, so I did see a short of, I think like Adam Sandler was giving Ariana Grande an interview after Wicked, and he did say like, you know, you took like 6 or 7 shoots and her face did something. I think it's the most amount of emotion I have ever seen on Ariana Grande's face. It was hilarious. You should look it up. It's really funny. With the DLC, 1 gigabyte in file size, but it's fairly in depth. That's the thing is like how in depth, how much time can I I'm not necessarily worried about the size of the game itself. It's more like how much content can I squeeze out of that. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's not the whole war, but most of what goes on from Britain in the European theater. Interesting. The you know, speaking of the Second World War, actually, I have what can I drop to, well, let me put this down for a second to see if what he dropped is even anything. Shaman's tabby, shaman's armbands, shaman's clothes. Can I wear those? No, they're male only. Cannot carry you because of Beard and hammer. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I've become quite interested in the sorry, I was doing like just some intense inventory management right there, and I completely just stopped talking. I became quite interested in the Nuremberg trials, actually, as of late. I knew of their existence. I think most people do. A lot of people reference them and stuff like that, but I had never actually sat down and read what they were about, or who the accused were, or what was going on at the time, right? And what led me to do so is that I read a quote from GM Gilbert, who is the psychologist who was assigned to the different men accused at Nuremberg. And I just found it incredibly interesting. So I started, you can read the whole thing, the Nuremberg Diaries, on the Internet Archive. So I've been reading it, and God bless, what a fascinating little... This is Dirty Colossus, everybody. Say hello to Dirty Colossus. What a fascinating group of individuals they were, I guess. There was quite a few of them. 22 accused, I think. I love Dirty Colossus because it's a trash boss. It's a trash boss, guys. He's a trash boss. Look at him go. Help! He covers you in flies. And you have to run to the fire to get them off of you. And hurt yourself. Yeah, destructible object the boss. Like, look at Dirty freaking Colossus. I love him. He's also the reason why there were flies everywhere. Ow. 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 You gotta go hit yourself on the fire to get the flies off, which I think is really funny. I like is shoving him with the big cleaver. Oop. Oh, I thought he was gonna do a backswing. Oh! 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 We're good. We're good. No, he did the backswing. I thought we were fine. And then he's gonna wog with flies. The arena also is filled with, like, destructible objects. It's like they were showing off that this could happen. I wonder if Dirty Colossus was designed around the idea of, like, destructible objects in the arena being full of it. He is not a difficult boss. He is not a difficult boss. He is quite simple to take on and defeat. Not a very difficult boss. Does this area go straight into Maiden Estrella? Maiden Estrella. He also has the eroded demon soul. Meant to be hello instead of help. I liked help though. I thought it was fun. She's kicking her little feeties. Hey, maiden. I would like to touch the demon inside of you, please. If you don't mind. I would love to touch the demon inside of you. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to call it for tonight, guys. We killed Dirty Colossus, we talked about wonderful things, and we had a great... Oh, I'm stretching. Give me a second. Oh, yeah, that's a good stretch. We talked about wonderful things, and I sneezed once. So... we will be back tomorrow night around the same time, probably a little bit closer to 11:30. Maybe. I don't want to make any promises, but we will be back tomorrow night to continue with more Demon Souls. I hope to see everyone there. I hope you had a wonderful time. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, my friends.